This year, the Texas Department of Public Safety helped arrest more than 3,000 undocumented immigrants across the state. That's what the Texas Tribune learned through public records. It represents a shift for state police away from the border. Here to talk about his reporting into all of this is Alejandro Serrano with the Texas Tribune. Alejandro, welcome back and thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So in your story, what stuck out to me is that DPS told you this is part of Operation Lone Star 2.0. What did it mean by that exactly?
Yeah, so I guess we should go back to January when the governor directed DPS to deploy teams to help President Donald Trump's immigration enforcement efforts. And so since then, not much has been reported or said about these teams. And when I asked DPS, I told them that I intended to report on more than 2,500 arrests that I had learned about through public records. And in response, they said that Operation Lone Star 2.0 was underway across the state, which I think was in part because I asked about the shift from the border to the interior of the state, including in some of the largest metros like Austin, Dallas, and Houston.
And the teams that you're talking about there are what are known as strike teams, right?
Right. Yeah. So they assign specific personnel to work with federal authorities. That includes ICE and also HSI, Department of Homeland Security, who's tasked with immigration enforcement, as well as numerous federal, investigations. And it's still not clear exactly how those teams are collaborating with federal authorities, because those are among the questions DPS has not answered.
Okay, so people out there may question, the federal government has the sole authority to enforce any kind of immigration violations under federal law. So what role does Texas really have to play with that?
Right, that's one of the key questions in this report. What we could glean from a tiny sample of arrest reports, it appears that they're collaborating in numerous ways. In some instances, DPS is relying on its traffic enforcement prowess to stop people, and then ICE or HSI investigator will confirm a person is undocumented. And in other instances, they are helping serve warrants for very targeted individuals who are wanted for, drug trafficking or what have you.
And in the past, you have talked to me about the original Operation Lone Star. What's the status of that at this point?
Well, there's still, DPS told me, and I don't think it made it onto the final version of the story, but they're still apprehending people at the border and working with immigration authorities. But we must remember that border traffic, illegal crossings, is what I mean by that, has decreased a lot. It started decreasing last summer and has plummeted this year. So, that there's, I guess, less activity down there, and Operation Lone Star has kind of transitioned into, which is more so across the state.
Well, Alejandro, your story was very fascinating to read, and I hope that anybody would want to check it out on the Texas Tribune's website. But for now, Alejandro Serrano with the Texas Tribune, thanks again for being with us.